Hello guys out there viewing this. This is Bosscinerator. Kaz the Bosscinerator coming at you with a new series for this channel. I'm calling it, as you've seen from the title screen, it's the Let's Destroy video of Metal Gear Solid 5 Portable, Phantom Pain. I had something else on my mind anyway. Since, this is a Metal Gear Solid game and Hideo Kojima's gonna be wanking off the entire series at this point and doing the historical perspective thing, I'm going to explain to you kind of what we're doing with the video here, my overview idea of what I was going to do with this. Basically, the Let's Destroy video series thing that we're going to try to do here, this is going to be a test for that concept, is going to be a combination of a Let's Play and my usual boss reviews. I'm going to see how it goes. People maybe appreciate it a little more than what I do. Anyway, we're just going to try it. So, basically, this is going to run like a usual Let's Play, except after every boss fight that we do, I'm going to be saying a little bit of the words, kind of doing a short and review of what I thought worked, what I thought didn't, and I'm going to put a score up about, just the usual scoreboard shtick that I do. So, with that in mind, here we are. I actually played this game before, except, since this is one of my first, major deals recording on the PC, yeah, I'm playing the PC version, obviously, it's the best, and I have to justify my gaming PC to some degree. Basically what happened with that was, since I was new to recording, I wasn't aware that my microphone was doubling up everything coming out of the game and all the vocals just sounded really shit. And I basically dumped the whole thing, dumped my save data, and we're going to be starting over again. Don't feel too bad for me because I basically only played the first 2 hours of the game. Anyway, as a side note, I really do like this this song that they're playing throughout this intro sequence. I really do like, God, what do they call it? I think they say it. Let's just listen for a bit. I'm pretty sure they say it. Time Winters. That's definitely a name. I think it's called The Man Who Sold the World, actually. And let's take a quick look at Hideo Kojima still not understanding how to do female video game characters. Although, yep, boobs in the face, obviously. This is an M-rated game, so you gotta get that in there. Basically, to call these guys characters would be to call the cardboard boxes that you lug around allies in this game. There's a British flag over there, and I don't know if that's indicative of anything because this hospital really does not flesh out much of anything. And basically, we're going to be confined to this bed for the first 20 minutes of the intro. I wouldn't call it a frickin' part of the game because really all we do is just wait for it to come to us. I mean, this was established at the end of Ground Zeroes. The 9-year coma thing, we got stuck in the hospital, so this is kind of really pointless as an intro, and it's really kind of annoying because they try to do the cinematic thing, but they frickin' bang you over the head with it constantly to any semblance of immersion. I mean, yeah, it's probably immersive. I'm probably not giving it the good shtick that it really needs. But, I mean, come on! You could be doing something better with this. Honestly, I like the MGS3 intro more than I like this because that kind of did more with the plot than just bang you over the head with the situation. And that's a kind of the problem that I have with this entire intro bit, is that it doesn't really get you into gameplay, it's just banging you over the head with the plot. And for some reason, everyone in this game has already called you Venom Snake. I have no idea why they called him Venom Snake. I don't get why they keep giving him new code names either. I mean, he's Big Boss. Just call him Big Boss all the time. I mean, this guy has 4 games worth of frickin' backstory. So basically what this entire intro is trying to do is it's trying with a long time, like 20 minutes, telling you very basic things. That Big Boss has been in a coma for 9 years. He just woke up. He's missing his arm and he has a giant piece of metal jutting out of his forehead now. Which is nice. Yes, I can move my head. If you guys can see these scan lines on my screen, I do apologize for that. You know, if you have a solution for that, I'd definitely appreciate hearing that. But the good thing is that I'm not getting that frame rate loss I was having with the original take, which is definitely good. God, my controls of reverse is gonna be fucking annoying. Okay, what are they? I don't know what you're trying to do. Fine! God! I'm looking up. How about that? And because I do not have my hindsight glasses on today, I'm actually still playing this game with a fucking keyboard and mouse. In future episodes, I am going to be doing this with an Xbox controller because fuck this, I'm really getting sick of it. And it seems like this was optimized for a controller and not for, you know, what I'm using. Oh, and then I gotta enter these two things with a frickin' interface that doesn't work. Whatever. I'll do it your way. What's weird about this is they ask you for your birthday, but they don't specify a year. What the hell is with that? And of course, I'm going to call myself Kaz. I don't know. I reduced the bitrate to try and reduce my the frame rate thing, and you know, it doesn't look too bad. I don't know what it'll look like on the record, but since this is a screen capture type tool, I don't think it's going to be as bad or even worse than what this is. And he's going to tell us, and Big Boss is going to freak the fuck out. Oh, he just told us. Oh, I'm freaking out! Ah, help! Big Boss is crazy! And they're gonna frickin' put him in set. I wouldn't be mad about the sedative that they put in him, but it takes them a whole week to re-wake up Big Boss. Like, at the end of this hospital bit, we're gonna realize the problem that the hospital did by not doing this fucking quickly. So, there's gonna be a huge consequence for that. You know what? For Kojima's credit, this nurse character over here, it's definitely a good sign to see that she isn't like the impossible perfection of fantasy of a female character. She you know, she doesn't look perfectly normal, but you know, they're definitely doing a lot better than, you know, characters like Eva and the female doc Naomi from Metal Gear Solid 4. I couldn't remember her name. Mostly because I don't care about her. She added very, very little to the story. And now he's gonna show us the fact that we got shot like 180 times. I would be mad about spoiling these upcoming things for you, but honestly, these are really, really drawn out and stupid. Well, that's good for you. Because this is the mid-80s and they don't have the technology to remove that stuff from the close around my body. And this is where they show me the giant metal thing that I have in my skull. Which is completely ridiculous. I mean, it is fucking noticeable anytime that you look at yourself in this game. Well, that's fine. You know, that explains why you can't get out of my skull. But could you, like, sand the damn thing down so I don't have this giant spike in my face? I'm amazed that his life is not threatened because he just said that I got shot with fragments 180 times. And it's amazing that we survived the helicopter crash in any form. Oh yeah, he's going to show us that our arm is missing. It's amazing that Big Boss is freaking out over that because, you know, he could have easily died just like Paz and Chico and possibly Kazuhira Miller. Kaz Miller. Which, I didn't think was going to be in Peace Walker when I named myself Kaz like I usually do. But, la-di-da, there's another character named Kaz, so that was a definite surprise when I was playing through Peace Walker. Yeah, another 2 weeks. We've been in here for 3 weeks just to get really stupid. Hey! You too. Stop talking about me while I'm in the room. That is incredibly rude, and I hate you for it. Like, there's a couple things in this intro that really just bug the shit out of me. And this is one of those things. Because they were obviously talking about me, and they weren't talking about me in front of me so that I could hear, and they're being rude bastards. Wait, what? Did he just foreshadow the fact that everyone in this hospital is gonna die? Or are you saying that I'm unlikely to live? Oh wait, this is the point where he tells us that we have to change my appearance because I'm Big Boss. Yep, that's us alright. Good old scruffy Big Boss. The same look that he had in... Oh, well, this was the weird thing. Like, they can change me to a black man, I guess, which was kind of weird. I can get Wolverine face. I'm gonna try and give myself the basic the thing that I had last time because I really like that kind of look I had going on. Oh, here it was, old dude. Yeah, I liked old dude. Let's go to the where's the beard choice? Where's the here? Is it this one? No way, this isn't right. Okay, here we go. These stupid created character things have gotten fucking ridiculous over time because why would you need to change any of this? Like, this is just micromanaging as fuck. Where, you know what, fine. What about, wait, I just looked at this. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. No, I wanna get a more scraggly beard. Where's my scraggly beard choice? Why do you idiots out there need these many features? It's freaking ridiculous. Here we go. Here we go. I want a scraggly big... No, I don't want Santa. I just want more scraggles. There. I kind of like it. Big Boss looking like an old angry fuckface. That's funny to me. But I don't know where the heck they put that avatar because the Big Boss in the story does not change. Like, you think I change now? I don't change like a whole hour from now. So, since I have played this through before and this is my first episode, we're just going to be playing through this intro section. We're not even going to get into any of the gameplay story missions. We're not going to get into any gameplay. We're just going to be doing this because last time I got through it in about an hour, and that's the... Okay, now interesting shit's happening. Like, try to explain to me how any part of this intro makes any goddamn sense. Like, I would explain... I would buy it for these two, but other things Other things that happen in this hospital do not make any fucking sense. I mean, you'll see it as time goes on. I kind of redo my reaction to things. Look, they changed my appearance right after the created character to that. That's Big Boss's real face. I don't know why he's even holding up the mirror. I'm probably talking over his dialogue, and I probably should have done subtitles because it would have helped you guys out, but again, this is one of my first PC projects, and hopefully, in later episodes, I'll try and put subtitles on. I'll try and do that for you guys. You know what? If you want to remind me in the comments section, do that. It'll help me out later. Now, this is one of the things I hate about this intro because they do the hospital stick, the hospital shtick, sorry, for Big Boss here, and it's really weird because all these soldiers are attacking a hospital. Of course, Big Boss is almost completely useless in this entire section. It's amazing that we didn't just get stabbed by this lady. Whoever this bitch actually is. I mean, I honestly don't know who attacked this hospital. She's a really terrible assassin if she stands there for a whole 5 seconds before pulling the trigger and allowing... Honestly, I don't even know what the hell this guy's name is. Maybe we'll just call him Bandage for lack of any sort of ingenuity here. See, this is one of the things that's really weird about this section. Like, all these guys are completely trained and psychotic assassins, and they cannot beat up a hospital full of half-alive patients. Well, that's one thing. She can't beat this guy. And the other thing is that these guys are coming in heavy to basically do an extinction policy practice on this entire hospital. Why the fuck did you need fully fledged army dudes to do this entire thing? Like, literally, you did not need an entire regiment to come into this hospital and kill everybody because they can't defend themselves. I don't know who did this. I doubt that Bandage did this. So maybe this was a character that we're going to meet later, which is, again, a really weird thing because, assumingly, these guys are on the same side. Like, you're introducing Sorry, the word's not just coming to me. You're introducing group, basically, clan. Sorry. You're introducing clan conflict in an area where we have absolutely no idea who any character are. Like, we don't even get a flesh out for this dick face. For all we know, he could be Gray Fox, which would be kind of weird because, as we know, Gray Fox was null in Portable Ops, and he was constantly confined to a hospital bed whenever he wasn't fighting. Although, knowing Kojima through Phantom Pain and Ground Zeroes, the things I've seen and heard about it, he does not give a shit about technological continuity throughout both of these games. Yep, give me this sedative there so I can get around. Well, thank you, guy, whoever you are. I could, if you'd bother to help me. I mean, you were helping me already. Although, I guess somebody has to watch the door. So, yeah, basically the entire intro, we're gonna be like this. So, if you want to yell at your screen now, that's definitely something you can do. Oh, and another thing, this thing is on rails. I can barely turn Big Boss. He's just moving himself around, which is even more annoying. I don't like this intro. It's drawn out, and any of the fucking gameplay features are just weird, and they ignore really blatant and designed things that would have made this 10 times easier for no fucking reason. Again, I'm crawling on the floor, guy. Why are you not helping me get somewhere faster? So, that is really... I don't even know. I don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Considering this is where we left off at Ground Zeroes, we really don't have much of a drive other than to find our friends. And get used to seeing this guy's bum because it's a constant thing since he's... I don't even know what he's doing. He could be doing absolutely nothing because him being the lookout and not having anything to look out for is kind of weird. Come on, Big Boss. Just get on your leg. This is one of the things that I hate about the game. They designed and put in a wheelchair into this intro, and they blatantly ignore it. This could be a really obvious thing that could get me around 5 times faster, but no, they take the alternative and just have me crawl along the fucking floor because, I don't know, maybe they get a kick out of seeing Big Boss like this. Okay, this is one of the characters that I was talking about. I don't know anything about her yet, and one of my friends who's also really into this series also told me that might be a man under all that gear. I don't really know. The hair makes it look like a girl. So, because I don't know anything about her, I've just been calling her Vivian the Fire Ghost. Oh, and this was another thing. We explode. And yet, he doesn't grab the cart that's around here, or the freaking wheelchair, to get me up, despite the fact that I can now only move slower because I just exploded. Oh, and this is the other guy. He's basically either the reborn version, the Metal Gear Solid version of a Kainu or Ace Portgas from One Piece, and he's either made of lava or made of fire. I don't really know, because again, this is the only part of the game where we've seen him for like the first 3 hours. He's obviously made of fire, but is that the only extent? Another thing about this guy, he gets defeated by the fucking sprinkler system. He's made of fire, and obviously a high-level boss character, and he's defeated by a sprinkler system. He is a fucking pussy of a flaming man. See, there's a towel cart over there. He could put me on that, or the fact that the wheelchair is still here, and not on fire, and also not broken. Bandage, do you get like a kick out of seeing me trying to crawl for my life? My butt's in the air because I can't pick myself up, you asshole. And I can see your asshole, which makes this work on 2 levels because you're a dick face. That's why they ramped you up and changed your name to Bandage, because you're a dick face. Oh, and Big Boss now just picks his ass up and can walk like it ain't no thing. What the hell, Kojima? I didn't even notice this the first time I came through here, but there it is. You have an advertisement for the game I'm already playing. That's completely pointless. Kojima, do you have any idea how to market your game? I mean, you barely have to market it. You tell people that it came out, and here we are. Like, I'm sure 1 million units have been sold by the first week, since this is the second day since the game came out. Man, we are incredibly weak. I mean, look at our muscles are completely gone. They're only up to functional standards. I mean, Big Boss, you've done worse. You've been in worse situations. Oh yeah, he's gonna fix our broken arm, which is gonna work because of reasons. Why couldn't you be my old man, Big Boss? I would have loved running around with a fucking white beard and white hair. Like you're fucking 67 years old. I mean, we got to do that in MGS4 when they were finishing up most of the Solid Snake plot. But no, right here, they just take the creative character and throw it in a fucking bin for no reason. Why would you even have a creative character if this is gonna happen? Is this only for, like, the multiplayer? See, this is another thing about the game, about these guys. They are using smoke grenades to kill everyone in a hospital. Like, 99% of the patients are confined to hospital beds. You do not need to sneak up on these guys to shoot them all. I'm not even moving, buddy. This is another thing about this entire section. If you don't do exactly what this guy is doing, basically the game's gonna kill you because it fucking enjoys seeing you fail. So if you're playing this game and you're just watching this to kind of get a feel about that, just do the scripted stealth section and do it the game's way, because if you don't, the entire thing's... Actually, now that we've gotten to this point, now we're gonna have to deal with this problem. Another problem with this section is that with the entire lack of character models, it's really easy to see. It's really easy to see that they don't have the character models. And see, look, this guy almost looks exactly like this guy. And if he was wearing bandages on your head, he couldn't tell them apart. That's going to be a major issue for later parts of this game where you have no idea what the fuck's going on. Oh, and right where in front of us, this guy got shot in the back and in the front of the head. And I'm pretty sure he's still alive. I don't know if he gets back up. I remember that there was one guy who got shot like 6 times by these soldiers. And I couldn't understand why. Oh, and this guy. He's looking directly at us with goggle enhanced vision, and he can't see us. Like, he just looked at us. So, apparently, most of the gear these guys are wearing is completely useless. Okay, so I'm guessing that guy doesn't come back to life, which is definitely good to see, because they're recognizing continuity that way. I don't even know. I remember that they shot a guy 6 times, and I was wondering why, because they accurately killed him already. They don't need to continue shooting him. And I was like, are they firing tranq bullets at him or something? Oh, wait. Okay, this is another thing. This guy is the exact same character model as the guy who just got shot. And, oh, that's what caused the confusion. That's what it was. Because exact same character model. No, wait, this was the guy who got shot 6 times. Because they had to go back and shoot him in the back of the head to make sure that he's 100% dead. And another thing, that guy didn't notice that that guy was grabbing for another person, and he could have just immediately saw us. Like, I'm guessing these guys are as stupid as the original Metal Gear guards. This is one thing that was good about the game. Like, they have to kill the nurses sneakily because they actually have the ability to defend themselves. Well, the ability within reason. Like, in comparison to everyone else, the nurses actually have the ability to defend themselves. Get on cover, you dumbass. Go. Go. Why are you not going? Get on the wall, you bat. Okay. Why not? Hey, I was killed because the game was being a jerk, you dumbass bandage guy. Okay, we're on Cyprus for some reason. Yep, we're in Greece because of reasons. What do you mean now? Okay, they're gonna shoot another couple of people because they have to. They're extinctioning the entire hospital because of reasons. Yeah, like I said, the keyboard controls for this are not the way that you want to play this game. If you're gonna play this on a PC, grab your controller. Don't even try to use the fucking keyboard. I don't have my Xbox controller to hand, which is why I'm still kind of dealing with this. And this is an intro, so obviously, complex control mechanisms are not coming into this game. It's relevant to the first mission, which is kind of frustrating because you really have to get a hold of the new mechanics pretty damn quickly. But for a Metal Gear Solid game, I guess if I can get used to them and it gets a little easier as time goes on, I'll definitely appreciate it. But if it doesn't, I'll call it that it was probably a good family member for the Portable Ops game, which definitely was kind of the low point of the series. I just said definitely, kinda. This is another thing I hate about this part of the game because Bandage has a really weird, really weird AoE range around himself. And if you run into that field, he basically just bumps off Big Boss in a really obvious way, and it's kind of ridiculous and annoying. And all those other things about this intro. And we're all going to stand in a group because we definitely feel safe in an open hallway with two giant entry points. Yep, we're definitely in Greece because I'm pretty sure that lady just spoke some of it. Well, then fight your way to the front of the line, you idiots. Oh yeah, and the game just focuses on Bandage's ass for no reason whatsoever. And we get saved by Bandage again. And for some reason, Big Boss just ended up avoiding all of the bullets. Enough for Bandage to just grab us into this room. Well, let's go, Bandage. You gotta basically escape the hospital, which is the entire point of the thing. This group could have accomplished the exact same thing with about 4 guys instead of like 7 regiments that they put in this place. Because you're hunting down hospital patients that can't defend themselves. It's going to be really obvious in this section because they have to kill a bunch of these guys. And they have no means of defending themselves, and I'm pretty sure half of them are asleep. This reminds me of the first parts of Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, where you don't have a gun, and basically the game is as awful on the difficulty until you get the handgun, in which case you can defend yourself. Now, with the Let's Destroy projects that I'm going to be doing, because I'm getting back into the Metal Gear games that weren't part of the main series and I didn't review in the earlier review series that I managed to do, I'm probably just going to be doing Let's Destroy projects through them and hoping that people do like the new format. Again, I'm just trying this out, and I hope it definitely works. Obviously, I hope it works. And doing shortened reviews, a minute or two talking about the boss after the fact, I think it's going to work a little better, especially when it's ingrained into the actual gameplay. Yeah, they do this creepy shot for no reason. Again, a lot of this intro exists just to exist. Like, We know that these guys are dangerous, and we know these guys are trying to kill everybody. You don't have to constantly reaffirm something we already know. This is why I say if you don't follow this guy exactly, the game's just going to kill you for fun. Because if you do anything other than what Bandage does in this entire section, then you're basically screwed. Sorry about that. I was testing to see if I get those scan lines if I just move the camera around. Again, if you know how to get rid of that on the comments, I'd definitely appreciate knowing that. I don't know, maybe it's just for like the cutscenes and stuff. I'm trying to go, but I'm trapped in cutscene. I'm trying to get there, buddy. Again, another wheelchair, and we're not using it. Although I suppose I can move now. Oh, and here's another brilliant example of why these top-notch soldiers are the best of the best that they could possibly get. Let's just watch this part because this is fucking funny. Like, just watch this section and find out why these guys are the most dangerous crack team in the entire world. I'm just going to let this section speak for itself. Yes, that guy pulls out an RPG and then doesn't use it. Maybe it's this motion blur that the fucking thing is using that's causing it. Maybe those are water tanks on their back. Oh yeah, I remember what this is. The first time I saw this, I thought he pissed himself, but thankfully they rectified that in about 30 seconds. There you go. There you go. That guy is still wielding his rocket launcher. Well, Vivian showed up at like the perfect fucking time. This is where we establish the flaming guy a little bit more. And his powers. Yeah, apparently everyone that gets set on fire in this game immediately runs for the window and just jumps out of it. Like, see that guy's face. See that guy's face. And his just general build of himself. This is what leads me to think that this guy is the resurrected form of Colonel Vol'jin from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Which, and a couple of his powers are definitely reminiscent of the guy. And it's further evidenced by the fact that, remember how he died? He got struck by lightning. See, that was one of, similar to one of Vol'jin's powers, which was basically a general bullet explosion. So, there's a little bit of evidence in that. But then the other thing is, then why did he team up with Vivian the Fire Ghost? The only reason I could think of for that is that he was trying to resurrect the Cobra unit with him in charge instead of the boss. So, we're going to know, obviously, more in the future if this is the resurrected Colonel Vol'jin, which would definitely be cool in a story kind of way. Yeah, I mean, did you see that? That was one of Vol'jin's poses when you were fighting him the first time. And don't worry, guys, don't worry. That helicopter is actually going to come back into things later in this intro section. Everything about this guy is pointing to Colonel Vol'jin's resurrection. But again, we don't have 100% knowledge of that fact. So yeah, this guy is completely unaffected by bullets or explosions or fire in general, which is really obvious. So, kind of like that demon thing in Prince of Persia, that guy who oversees Destiny. I can't remember his name, who was also weak to water. It's gonna play out a little bit of the same way. This guy's entire weakness thing is just water. And did you see when he was cooling off a bit there? The style of the suit he was wearing? Those lines in it? That was definitely similar to... Oh, and this thing. They don't do the injury features of Metal Gear Solid 3. They just do... God, I can't... Sorry, I'm blanking on the name again. Blanking on words. They just do that QTE type thing at various points where you fix yourself. Which is, I guess it avoids the annoyance in the Metal Gear Solid menu thing, but it's pretty much a vestigial feature that doesn't need to exist. What was I trying to... Oh yeah, what I was talking about before. That suit that the Flaming Man was wearing, those lines in the suit, that was definitely similar to the computer wiring suit that Vol'jin was wearing when he got struck by lightning. I think this is the point where the game's actually going to give us a gun and teach us how to shoot people. Which is definitely less stealth game ideology, which usually teaches us that shooting people is literally the last resort that you should take. Otherwise, in this game, it's actually a viable way of killing people. Which I definitely appreciate. I definitely appreciate that in Guns of the Patriots, and I'm sure I'm going to appreciate it as an option in Phantom Pain unless I start hating the game completely. I don't want the game to just be a bunch of forced mission tutorials in the light of Peace Walker. Okay. So, yeah, this is how they teach us how to shoot. The thing's kind of fiddly. Oh, here we go. I'm trying to shoot it, but the stupid thing won't do anything. R's the reload button, obviously. Just do what's usually normal. This game does do regenerating health, but it is really slow about it, which I know, it incorporates modern gaming, which while keeping the usual Metal Gear Solid roots alive in a little bit of a point. In MGS4, it definitely was a cover-based shooter and was just taking the norms of that without, really being an MGS game in combat. But at least the story was still as insane as Kojima is ever expected to be. So they're just standing around waiting for something to happen, I suppose. Out of all the things that this guy could have thrown, Bandage could have thrown to distract them, he throws his silencer. Like, his silencer is one of the most important things about guns in this game. In my first attempt of this intro part, I tried chasing Bandage over to where he fell down. It turned out to be the absolute wrong thing to do. See, what you were actually supposed to do is you were supposed to go this way, and then, I suppose, jump down to the end of the intro part. But I guess that's part of the open world stuff that Kojima was doing with this game. Which, better or worse, it's definitely unique, to say the very least, about Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain after knowing very little about it. See, Bandage just somehow hoofed it from where he was, and was already out of the building within 5 seconds. And there's an APC over there, controlled by the enemies, for... Actually, I think it's a very legitimate tank. And, you know, again, first time I played this, I thought the tank was, like, towing that giant piece of metal. No, it turns out that that giant piece of metal is the helicopter that was shot down by Fireman earlier. Here's Vivian the Fire Ghost to freak you out again, who can teleport at will. And she's just gonna pick up that helicopter with her mind and use it to kill everybody. It's gonna be cool. Watch it. You know, while that's going on, I'm going to discuss a little more about Vivian the Fire Ghost, and I was talking about it with my buddy, who's also a very big MGS fan, definitely, and I do like talking to him about it, as anybody with fan friends can attest to. And what he told me, what the theory was from kind of the trailers, is that Vivian the Fire Ghost was said to be Psycho Manus's younger self, coming back to kind of flesh out his character in this game. In which case, I told him that if Vivian the Fire Ghost is Psycho Manus, then in his old age, he pretty much nerfed all of his psychic powers, because what Vivian can do in this game is completely ridiculous. She can, like I said, she is going to use that helicopter to kill everybody. And what did Psycho Manus have telekinetic control of? Just office furniture. So there you go with that. Also, she can teleport at will, which is a whole other thing. Yep, here's another bullet explosion to say once again that this is Vol'jin. And the other thing is that she can just set shit on fire that she's just looking at. So if Psycho Manus is really Vivian the Fire Ghost, then he really got shit over the years. I could very well believe that Vivian is Psycho Manus, because of course Kojima would do that, because he has some sort of weird obsession about this character, which I don't understand. I mean, yeah, he's interesting, but, you know, his fucking fights have been completely shit. Oh, crap, I'm on fire. How the heck? Okay, there you go. I guess a version of the stopping and dropping and rolling thing. Like, here's the thing that I have a problem with this intro thing. Like, I don't know if this should be classified as a boss fight, because, you know, none of you really have a health bar, and really, Big Boss's life isn't really in that in danger here. Oh, he can just, okay. See, that's the thing. I don't know if I'd really call this a boss fight, because, again, he really doesn't... There's no really defeat to call it a fight. Like, yeah, there's sort of fighting, and there's the arena thing, but there's no health bar, and there's no story turns upon the defeat of the boss, which is a whole thing about what boss fights are, is that they have to further the story, or they have to have the health bar. I know there's a ton of different provisions I have mentally to determine whether something is or isn't a boss fight. Another example is that I had to really think about whether the Zakev sniping in Modern Warfare was a boss fight. More to the point, probably the more obvious one, is if the Zakev ending thing in Modern Warfare COD 4 was a boss fight. Because, it's just one shot. I don't know if that should have counted. I decided that it didn't count. Basically, that there wasn't really a danger of Zakev himself to Soap McTavish when he was going through that. I mean, there's a lot of different things that I could base it on, but that's just what I think. So yeah, that whole, 1 minute of shooting at Fireman there, probably not a boss fight. Simply because there wasn't really a fight. It was just kind of a walk around and wait until the game happens. There's more credibility to something later that happens being a boss fight than this part of the game, because that one actually had more of the fight in it. But again, I really didn't count it as a boss fight, mostly because there wasn't that defeat aspect to it. There wasn't really a fight. It's just kind of a chase for a little bit, and then the game takes over. Like, if there was more of a connection to the shots that Big Boss was doing the fireman in that chase, I probably would have acquiesced and said that it was a boss fight. But really, the shots that he does don't really equate to damage. And if you really can't damage your enemy, it's kind of a problem for it being called a fight. Again, this isn't a fight. This is just a story bit and wait until shit happens. There's no danger. See, a boss fight has to have that ability to danger the player as a mainstay to its existence. That's another thing that both Fireman parts of this intro don't really have to their claim. Like, there is very little danger to Big Boss in what the actions of the Fireman actually have. But personally, I'm definitely liking the resurrected Cobra unit guys already. I'm definitely going to like the actual boss fight that I have with the Fireman and Vivian the Fire Ghost, because they're really interesting characters, and they really use the concept of fire-based weaponry effectively well. This definitely isn't going to be a repeat of the vamp fight from MGS4 with its fucking puzzle logic. And hardy har har, oh, the fire truck exploded, oh, it's so funny. And somehow, probability be damned, Fireman is somehow mortaring us with vehicles at this range. So, yeah, this entire intro, I mean, it's sort of cinematically well done. It's interesting, but it's just way too drawn out. Like, you're just banging us over the head with all the questions without really getting us immersed in the experience. This is just a bunch of shit happening all around us that's trying to introduce us to plot without actually getting us into the story. I mean, I could be nitpicking. You guys might be enjoying this thing throughout the entire time that I'm talking about it. And that's fine if you do. I'm definitely not knocking it, because I can see the good points in it. But for me, I really would rather appreciate something like the COD 4 intro mission, where it actually gets you into the story and gets you into the mechanics effectively. That's just my personal take. So yeah, we got about another 10 or 15 minutes into this intro before the story kind of takes us on a turn and throws us into a different location entirely. Could someone explain something to me? Is Greece, like, does its culture have this aspect of it, of when it was British controlled, because I know that, again, the words are escaping me right now. It's not mercantilism, that's not it. Oh, it's colonialism. Is British colonialism still a big part of Greece's culture? Because they have the right steering wheel cars that Britain has, and I assume that they have the road rules of Britain as well. Again, I don't understand Vivian the Fire Ghost, because it looks like she's defending us from the helicopter. Oh, and here's the point in the game where they just throw all the bullshit at the wall and hope that it sticks. Yes, you just saw that right. A giant flaming whale jumped out of the horizon and attacked a helicopter, and now there is a flaming unicorn Pegasus with the fireman and Vivian riding it. This is absolute anime logic at all points. Like, with Metal Gear Solid, I think that the anime points of the entire series definitely helps in what it tries to do, because it gives you that fantastical element while also having something realistic to back it up with the plot. You know, it has a realistic plot, but the fantasy stuff keeps it really interesting and keeps you on your toes. But when Metal Gear Solid delves into 100% anime logic, it definitely doesn't do it very much favors, because that's a fucking flaming unicorn for no reason. And this is the point where I was talking about, like, you can say this for yourself if you believe that this is a boss fight or not. Personally, it doesn't have enough of the boss fight provisions in it to personally be called a boss fight, because really, this no matter what. 90% of the time, I'm sure that there's a death risk, like a really light death risk to the player at points, but really, this isn't a boss fight. This is just a fun chase for the fact of a story. Like, see, that tree was never gonna hit us. Although, you know, for the thing's credit, it's definitely really interesting. I mean, we're being chased by a flaming man riding a flaming unicorn. I mean, seriously, flaming unicorn. You cannot go wrong with this. Yeah, my computer's having a bit of an issue rendering this, but, you know, doesn't take away from how interesting the thing is. And I reload with my elbow because I'm Big Boss and I know exactly how to do that. Holy shit. Okay, so he can attack us. I still want to call it a fight, because he's definitely not going to kill us. And really, no story gets furthered by the fight. Holy shit. I'm trying to. I'm even shooting the horse, but it's not doing much. I think the entire point of this fight is that you have to shoot him just to stun him, because if he's allowed to get some hits on you, he's definitely going to make it hurt. And why not? I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is the resurrected version of Colonel Vol'jin, and if you watch my review of that guy, I mean, fucking hell, he was brutalizing everything. See, this is why it's not a fight. It's not a fight because of the fact that you just get away. Oh, and here's more evidence for the fact that it's Colonel Vol'jin, because he just summoned a lightning bolt from the sky. Which is kind of weird, the fact that the thing that killed him in MGS3 somehow gained the ability to control. So yeah, I'm not going to call that a boss fight. You can call that a boss fight if you want, but there's just too many things missing for it to not just be, you know, a clever story bit. It's just not a boss fight for me. You can disagree. You can disagree if you want. Okay, and since we are at the results screen, and somehow I got a code name, I got rank S, and somehow I'm still codenamed Chick, which I really don't get. Okay, so now that episode 0 is done, that is going to be the end of episode 1 of Let's Destroy Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain. And you know, definitely a good start. It was definitely a good story. I appreciate everything. And we're just going to be doing it like this. And, you know, if the fireman was a boss fight, sorry once again, the structure of how this is going to go. The structure of how this is going to go, I would talk for about 2 minutes about the fight itself over this results screen, and then just give it a quick score out of that, just to tell people how I feel about the thing. But since it wasn't, we're just going to go to the end here. So this is going to be this is the first episode of Let's Destroy Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. I hope you guys appreciate it, and I'm going to end it as I always do with a victory for gamers. And I'll be quickly doing an episode 2, and hope you guys get around to seeing that. You know, thanks for watching.